Acknowledge me.
You just made the list.
I am the B-E-S-T.
I'm better than you, and you know it. Damn.
Welcome back to Down Under the Mat podcast here in Madison Square Garage around the pool table of relevancy. To my left, Mr. Daniel Danielson. To my right, Ready Reece. I am Booker Ted. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment on this video. Check us out on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and all the other good things as well to talk with us all about wrestling. We're here to talk about wrestling again here in 2024. If you've seen our other videos, you'll know that it's a new year, new pod. What are you... Taking a picture, man? What are you doing?
Podcast, man.
So
Come on.
weird, bro.
I'm going to put it up on Twitter for everybody.
Oh, I see.
Oh, smart.
So new year, new
Behind
pod.
the scenes.
You may have already seen by the picture quality that we have a new camera.
New camera.
And
we got new
also-
theme music too.
We do, new theme music. It's the same old garage. We've just changed the aesthetic a little bit to try and fit
Just a
the
smidge.
wide angle. But we have also changed the format.
Yeah.
So you may have already watched our news and rumors pod. So this year we are going to trying to shorten up our podcast a little bit, and we've split it. So we'll have the show rundown, which is what you're obviously watching right now. And then we'll also have the news and rumors on the separate video as well.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully make it a little more manageable to get some time in to watch them.
correct, and also makes it a
Or
bit more
listen.
manageable for people who may specifically want to listen to the match
News.
rundowns or the news, whichever you're into. If you want to watch both, watch both. That's what I'd prefer. And then also look out for our special video for our wrap up of the best of 2023 as well, which will
With
also
some
be
predictions for 2024 as well.
released.
Right at the end.
Yes,
Spicy.
hot takes, man.
Spicy
Hot
takes.
takes.
Some hot takes.
man.
But as I said, this episode, we are here to talk about the rundown of the actual shows that we've seen. So obviously, just before the run up to Christmas, we had like some highlight shows from WWE.
Yeah.
So the main shows we're going to be talking about today is AEW with their World's End. Obviously, Raw had their day one. We had the NXT
New
show,
Year's Evil.
and then we had the Revolution.
New
was it
Year's Revolution for
from
SmackDown?
SmackDown as well. So we're going to go through all those and talk about the highlights.
And then Dynamite, New Year's Smash, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, whatever it was, what they want to call it. And if you haven't watched the other videos yet, if this is the first time you're watching, Dan,
Hello.
it's
How you
okay.
going?
Do not adjust your microphone. Oh, not your microphone. Don't adjust your speakers. That is Dan's voice. He's
Yes.
been rocking it out too hard and has damaged his vocal cords.
Yes.
So he's going to try his best to not talk too much.
I do sound like Mickey Mouse. Thanks, Reece. Appreciate that. Yeah. I'll leave most of the
Now
talking
that
for
you
you
pointed
guys.
that out,
It's just right
why
there.
did you say that, man?
It's right
I've been
there.
so good to him all afternoon, being like, no, we're not gonna make comment. We're not gonna. I've been there,
It's
bro.
there.
I've been
just,
there.
Just take it. It's there.
There was a time I was on holiday on a boat and I lost my voice on day one and then didn't talk for 2 days.
That would be so difficult for you to not talk.
Oh, dude, it
Yeah.
was. I was there with my good friends Joel and Ryan, and they had the best time because they would introduce me to people, and they were just making up stories about what my name was, what I did for work, and I couldn't refute any of it because I couldn't talk. And they're just like, oh yeah, he's mute, his IQ is like 20, like all this sort of stuff, and I'm just like. And
That's
obviously
the best
you
one.
can't then be like, oh no, what they're saying's not right, because then they're like, what's wrong with this guy? Look at him, you bloody weirdo. And obviously Americans can't understand our accent at the best of times. So when you're talking like that,
this? Yeah.
they're like, huh? What'd you say? Americans. Anyway, let's do a wrap up of the show. So we're going to start with World's End? Sorry,
Yeah,
World's
we're
End,
gonna start-
AEW World's
We're
End.
going to review World's End.
And there was a lot of matches, but Reece, I think your highlights were the main event sort of area.
Yeah. We'll only talk about, because we don't want to go over time, we'll only talk about the three big matches
So
that
there's
happened towards the
13
end.
matches on the card.
13.
13,
We'll
man.
talk about the last three,
Woo.
all right? Because those were probably like the really big ones.
The tie-in to the last three is probably match 2,
Yeah, match 2. So which was on the
pre-show.
pre-show, the 0 hour,
Right,
as AEW
okay.
calls it. So that was the battle royal to determine who would get the number one contendership for the TNT Championship, the contract.
Kind of like a Money in the Bank.
Yeah, it was. They were making it out like a contract that you can cash it in anytime, any place, anywhere.
For any
So
time.
essentially,
No, just for the
just
TNT.
for the TNT.
Oh, just for the TNT.
Just for the TNT. So
Right,
it was
okay,
essentially
okay.
just like a exclusive Money in the Bank type
Very
contract.
big MacGuffin for the rest of the show.
Yeah. No, it didn't happen.
And who won that match?
So Killswitch, formerly known as Luchasaurus, won the Battle Royal,
him
which
Who's the other big dude that was in that little Lance Archer?
Was he back? Was he?
the
Lance
Murder
Archer
Hawk,
was back,
Lance
Murder
Archer.
Hawk.
Yeah.
Dan
I haven't
Housen
seen
was
him for a
in it.
while.
Yeah.
Trent Beretta was in it. There was a couple of good spots.
There were some big names in there that
The
could have
start-
potentially won it,
The
but
start of the Battle Royal, they pretty much everyone teamed up and put Lance
Yeah.
Archer and Luchasaurus under some tables.
yeah.
They just got him out of the match.
Yeah. But didn't eliminate them.
Correct.
Now, I know you want to really skip on to the last three matches, but I think there's a couple we just want to mention really briefly because obviously Andrade had his last match
Yep.
confirmed against
Confirmed,
Miro,
yes.
who is defeated by, so Miro gets his wife back
Yeah,
in real
well,
life.
she turned on Andrade.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. And
But
so Andrade's now
There's
gone.
not really been anything since that happened.
No, but I think just the main fact that Tony Khan at the press conference was like, yep, Andrade's gone. We thank him for his time, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. So more than likely we might see him pop up in WWE.
Rumble.
The other one was obviously Dustin Rhodes ended up wrestling Swerve Strickland because
Yeah. Keith Lee wasn't medically cleared to compete.
Yeah.
No-showed.
still injured.
Wow, injured.
Well, yeah, not
No
medically
showed.
cleared. And then this next one, really quick mention, because obviously we already talked about it a little bit on our News and Rumors show, but the tag match with Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, with Sting and Darby versus Ricky Starks, Big Bill, and the Don Callis family, and mainly because of the issues around
The Jericho
chanting.
things.
There's lots of booze for Jericho for this.
Yeah.
But what was
Yeah.
funny was like he came out and Judas hit.
Yeah, everyone sang it.
Whole crowd still sings Judas.
Yeah.
But then as
They
soon as he
booed
hit a
him.
move, boo.
Yeah.
And then there was the World's End DNA.
World NDA, yeah.
And then what was the other? Jericho Home.
Yep.
I think was the other one. So there was a lot of feeling in the crowd about Jericho. And obviously, I think there was some talk that it sort of overshadowed the match because obviously it was supposed to be Sting's last match in New York,
Yeah.
which I think the crowd realized. And obviously, I think the crowd were getting a bit stuck between booing and cheering because Jericho apparently was doing like a scorpion deathlock at the same time as Sting. So they were
Yeah.
like booing him, but
cheering
cheering Sting. And it all got very convoluted, unfortunately. But
Yep.
yeah, I thought we just slipped those in really
Yeah.
quickly
No, that's
before we
fair.
got to the end because obviously those are the other big talking points, and especially what I heard about it before I watched the highlights. Those were some of the things that were definitely being talked about a lot online.
The Tony
So,
Storm match was meh.
Yeah, it was okay. Like Tony Storm needed to win because
Yep.
we all don't like Rio. So thank God that she didn't win. But yeah, big matches we want to talk about. We'll start with Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage in the street fight for the TNT Championship.
And this is their second match they've had now. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, second match, and boy, it was
great.
It was a great match. We had some spots where they were going through the crowd, beating each other up. Nick Wayne and Mama Wayne were out there as well, so they came in, did some stuff here and there.
I believe there was a flaming table.
You're getting way ahead of yourself, man.
Yeah,
Just
way ahead of yourself.
Okay.
there was.
I haven't said any. All I said was there's a flaming table. I haven't given anything else away.
They
I was
did
just
all.
saying.
They did all the spots. They started with chairs.
Yep.
Then they worked up to tables.
Yep.
Then they worked up to ladders.
Yep.
And then they worked up to tables through ladders. Like they did everything.
Tables,
It
ladders,
was
and
great.
chairs. Oh my.
So when the flaming table came into play,
Yeah.
it was attempted by Christian and Nick Wayne, but they didn't get the shot on, and then the table went out because they do that
Correct.
apparently.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they went out if you leave them too long.
Well, I mean, it is just a little bit of petrol, and once the petrol's gone, like,
the lights
Yeah.
were-
unless the table itself actually catches fire.
So then they had take two, which is when Edge was going for the offensive. Table was on fire. Nick Wayne standing on the apron. Edge goes for a powerbomb. I don't think he should have taken that step forward
Yeah.
because Nick Wayne's butt hit the very edge of the table, didn't actually go through the table and just like
kinda fell
bounced
off
off
the
it.
back. Yeah.
So we love using the word. A bit of a botch.
Bit of a mud show moment.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, if you're Nick Wayne, do you prefer to miss the table
Oh yeah,
or actually go through the flame?
If I was him, I would have
I
preferred
think he got
that.
the better one,
as the
right?
outcome. Yeah, definitely.
As long as he doesn't hit his head on the way down, like it
yeah.
doesn't do a Jeff Hardy.
We had that happen,
Hardy.
and then we went to the conclusion of the match, which Edge hit the Unprettier. He hit the Unprettier
Yep.
to win, didn't he?
And he won.
Yeah. He won with Christian's finishing.
But
move.
then something else happened, right?
Well, yes, here we are. We've got Edge celebrating his first AEW championship reign. Out comes Christian.
Now Nick Wayne comes out.
Oh, yeah. Nick Wayne comes back. Everyone starts beating up on Edge.
Mm-hmm.
Christian comes and tells Luchasaurus to hand over his contract, which he reluctantly does.
Well, he doesn't want to
No.
at the start, and then something that Christian just
He
goes,
he whispers in his ear.
and you just watch him just go.
Yeah.
So it's not like an angry Christian yelling, "Give me the title." He
Okay,
whispers
so there's
something.
something he said. Something.
Well, he
to him,
did do
we've gotta
that a little
find
bit,
out,
but then he
okay.
just leant in, whispered in Killswitch's ear.
Yeah.
So there's
Killswitch hands it
something
over.
we don't know that he said.
Christian cashes in his contract,
Spears Edge.
spears Edge, wins the championship back.
Okay.
Good storytelling.
Good story.
They're cooking. They're cooking.
are.
So
They
now, as he stated, he's technically 2-0 up on Edge. That's what,
technically
I mean, that's
2-1.
what he
2-1.
said, right?
2-1.
He also said that he's still held the title for 200 days and he's undefeated as the champion, even though half that time was Luchasaurus.
He's such a good heel.
I love Christian.
I love it, man. I love it.
It's
You
so
can't
good.
just put on a turtleneck and say you're a heel. You got to do all the other stuff too, man. And he's doing it.
Yeah.
He's doing it. No, that's awesome. That's
great.
awesome.
We then moved on to the grand finale of the, what was it called? The
Continental.
Continental Classic. That's right.
So this, like the work up before the final, because the AEW did have the finals before Christmas. on
Yeah,
their shows.
yeah.
Essentially, they did the story of the Gold League,
Yep.
which was John Moxley undefeated.
Yep.
That final was the three-way with Moxley, Swerve, and Jay White.
Yep.
I don't like Moxley, but he won. Yeah. The Blue League was Eddie Kingston.
Yep.
He lost his first two matches,
But then one.
then won the way out
Yeah.
because it's the big underdog story, which is what we sort of called.
Yep.
You have your underdog versus your undefeated,
Yes.
and then you have the two guys that just punch each other in the face.
Oh, mate, this match.
It's so hard.
Well, I guess
They-
this was probably planned since All In, right? When they had that moment. Remember
I mean,
in the
like-
Stadium Stampede where the to each other while they were
As much as I was
table.
calling for it, to have Swerve go through undefeated and then win this tournament, like, keeping that in mind, it just made sense that it was going to be Moxley and Kingston.
Yeah, okay.
And, like, once Kingston won his side with the Blue League, like, it just makes sense. Like, he sacrificed the titles, lost his first two matches.
Beat Danielson.
Everyone loves those underdog stories, man.
The match with him and Danielson was great
Yeah.
too on Dynamite. Yeah.
I haven't watched all the matches. I've seen a couple, and
Well, I didn't watch any of the Blue League.
The best
because-
part about it was that there was no interference, no nothing. It was
Yeah.
you want
It
to
was
watch
just-
15 minutes of wrestling.
you're going to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
some wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Look, I like it. They've done something a bit different, right? And
You mean
I
they
think.
did the New Japan G1 just on?
Yeah, no, but I
AEW?
mean more in terms of like in American wrestling,
Yes.
right? Like
Yeah.
instead of necessarily trying to do the exact same thing that WWE is doing, they went, well, if we're going to do like not proper, but if we're just going to do wrestling, if we're going to focus on the wrestling, let's make it a wrestling tournament with wins and losses counting towards it, and it makes sense.
It was good.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's a great match. Lots of false finishes. They absolutely beat the crap out of each other. Eddie Kingston came out on top.
Moxley
man.
no-sold a bit too much, but he always does.
He does that every
that's
time.
Moxley. One thing I did note when we were watching it live, because they hadn't actually shown the Triple Crown Championship, like the Continental Championship yet.
They're still covered. Yeah.
Still covered. But the graphic at the start of the match
Showed
spoiled the
it.
title. Like, come on. You have
Kevin
hidden
Dunn.
that title
Kevin
for
Dunn.
what, like 2 months that
Yeah.
this tournament's been going on?
Yeah.
Something or other? And then you ruin it like that at the pay-per-view.
Kevin Dunn is unemployed. Tony Khan,
Reach
you
out.
need to reach out. You need help. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. We got a moment
pretty funny.
of Eddie Kingston and John Moxley like showing them some respect, hugging it out in the ring after the match.
Cool.
Which is good. Good to see that. We then move on to the main event of the evening, which
and I think
everyone was pumped
Everyone was
for.
waiting for this.
So to set the main event up on the week before was Dynamite.
Yep.
It was MJF and Samoa Joe
Yep.
to defend the tag team titles against the Devil's Henchmen.
Yeah.
Do you want me to talk to?
Yeah, you can talk about
Yeah.
it. I just wanted to make sure we talk about this part.
Yeah.
So what we had happen on the Dynamite just before World's End, main event was going to be a Ring of Honor tag title match with Samoa Joe and MJF defending against the Devil's Henchmen.
Henchman, yeah.
We had the Henchman in the ring first.
Yep.
We had MJF make his entrance, and then Samoa Joe's music hit. Samoa Joe doesn't appear. The music stops. Open up on the Titantron. He's been attacked backstage, clutching his knee. So MJF's like, you know what? doesn't matter. I'm just going to do it myself. So he goes down to the ring, handicap match for the tag titles. Gets absolutely obliterated. It was a squash match for sure.
So the two in the ring were fighting him.
Yeah.
The third one came out from underneath the ring, hit him with a steel bar.
Yep.
Then they did the what's MJF's finisher?
Heat Seeker.
The heat seeker. 1, 2, 3.
Done.
Yep.
Done. 30 seconds.
Wow. Okay.
It was a
Okay.
very quick match. Like, if you look on AEW's YouTube, I think the whole finale segment was about 10 minutes, if that.
Yeah. Okay.
And the match was probably like 3 minutes of that.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. So that happens. They hold up the Ring of Honor tag titles. So they then start beating up on MJF.
Yep.
Samoa Joe limps down to the ring to try and make the save.
With a chair.
With a chair. They're both in the ring. Titantron pops up. Devil's there. He laughs. Says, pleasure doing business with you. And then Samoa Joe
Yeah.
cracks
in.
MJF with a steel chair.
Yeah.
Not that he is the devil, but he's just been
Doing
in
business
leagues with the devil.
Yeah.
And that sets up for the great main event that we got at World's End, which is a fantastic match. I think we were all potentially a little surprised about the outcome.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I think some of the MJF hit the F5 on Joe. That was sick.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
He took a muscle buster. Like, it was a good 15 minutes of wrestling
Yeah.
between those two.
Yeah.
Even though MJF was playing up the shoulder injury.
Yeah.
Great match.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then,
And
Because of Adam Cole was also ringside.
Yes.
Right.
yes.
So he was
Which he
there-
actually didn't get involved in the match at all.
So people came out and said that he actually was. So what had happened was that towards the end of the match, there was a referee bump. And MJF went to Cole to give him the ring
Yeah.
to hit him. And Cole
Oh, don't have the ring.
couldn't.
Right.
Oh no, here it is. And then he gives it to him, but it takes a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe gets the clutch on,
And then
Yeah.
wins.
and MJF taps out.
Ah. So then obviously the henchman then came out, right?
So MJF passed out.
Yep.
Joe gets the title.
Yep.
Joe
Leaves. Yeah. Joe
Yeah.
left. He walked up the ramp straight away. We then had Cole made his way into the ring to start like talking to MJF, consoling him.
Lights go out.
Lights go out. Henchmen come out. They've got Adam Cole. Like, we've got two of the henchmen on either side of Adam Cole holding him. They're holding MJF as well. Going to smash him
With the chair.
with the chair. Lights go out again.
MJF says, hit me, not him, hit me,
Yeah.
hit me.
Yeah.
Lights go out again. We then have the four henchmen standing there when the lights come back up. And in the chair in front of them is Adam Cole.
That
Yeah.
was a good spot. That was good production.
Yeah. That was good.
I did like that reveal, I have to admit.
It was
and then
good
the
reveal.
fact that he looked up with his hair, put his hair back,
yeah.
and then it was pretty obvious. I think the only thing, again, as someone who's only a casual AEW fan, was the reveal of everyone else behind him at the same time. Because obviously I knew who is Adam Strong. Is it Adam?
Roderick
Strong. Sorry, he always says Adam. That's why I say Adam. Roderick Strong, Wardlow, but the other guys, I'm like,
It's the kingdom.
That's the king. Yeah.
They're
so
Roddy Strong's guys.
yeah, I get it. But I think that was the only thing for me where I was kind of like, maybe you could have revealed that. later,
I'm
but
disappointed that Wardlow's in another faction where he's going to get overshadowed again. Because like I really thought the way they were planning it out, like Wardlow was going to be an opposing force to MJF. We never got a match, did we? Yeah, we never got a match. Nothing, and now he's in another faction for God knows what reason.
well, then I think because this then ties in with the next Dynamite,
Yeah.
right? So I don't know if it opened the show,
Yes, it did.
Well, the show opened with Samoa Joe promo.
right?
Yeah.
And then obviously we had Adam Cole come out with.
Yeah.
his
Well, we had Adam
henchman.
Cole's music hit.
Yep.
Lots of pyro.
It's
the
all
most
about
pyro.
the boom.
Yeah, lots of pyro. Most
Then
I've seen
the music
on a Dynamite.
changed,
And unveiled the new name, Undisputed Kingdom.
which is a cool name. So that
Yeah,
now makes sense.
I
Now you
dig
tell
it.
me the Kingdom. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they all come out. They're in the ring. Adam cuts a promo about something else. Oh, I can't remember.
Says MJF's gone, he's never come back.
Yeah,
the
that.
reason he did it because everyone
Everyone should be
hates
pitying
MJF.
me.
He's only made enemies. I made you relevant.
yeah.
Everyone loved you when I got with you.
And I mean, the point to his story too is that MJF was going to turn eventually, so he just beat him with a punch.
Yeah.
Which
It's fair, to be honest.
No, it makes
It's
sense.
fair.
It makes sense. And I think I already mentioned this at the time. The only little tiny issue I had with the whole thing was I think they could have kept it a little bit more because obviously he said because he's still injured, right? Because he's sitting in the chair and
Yeah.
you know he's still injured.
Still got his moon boot on.
Wardlow's going to go after the title and win it, and then he's going to give it to me. He's gonna relinquish the title and give it to me. And I feel like he shouldn't have just said anything. He should have just said Wardlow's going to go for the title.
Yeah.
Because now what it seems like they're setting up for is that Wardlow's going to win the title.
And turn on
Adam's going to go, give me the title. And Wardlow's going to go, no. And no one's going to be shocked by that. Whereas if he had just said Wardlow's going to go for the title, Wardlow wins the title, and then next day in the ring, and he goes, give it here.
Yeah.
And that would have been for me a better, because now no one's going to be shocked when he goes to ask for it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they just jumped the shark
Jumped
a
the
little
gun,
bit with
yeah.
that. Like they should have just kept that part a little bit secret. Yeah.
They've also projected Roderick Strong to get the international championship.
Yeah, so they want to get all the gold,
That'd be
right? They're
sick,
trying
man.
to pull a
It's
judgment
going to be
back.
Undisputed Era NXT type stuff where
I like
they
the idea
hold
of it.
all the gold.
I feel like it just less is more. Don't necessarily
Yeah.
don't do the whole Bond villain and be like, oh, Mr. Bond, here's my entire plan because I think you're dead now.
I think the best part about the promo from Cole was saying that he never needed MJF.
Yes.
MJF needed him.
Oh, it was a brilliant promo. Don't get me wrong. The way he delivered it and everything else was fantastic. That was my only little slight thing was maybe just don't give that information away. That could have been kept for another day. But
So after that was all done,
yep.
we then had Jay White come out.
Which I loved this part too.
Yeah, this was great. So Jay White comes out and he's like, oh, now I know who you are, and I know that you attacked me a few weeks back. We're going to come after you. So out come the guns with Jay White as well.
Because I think the smart thing for this is that like Jay White's like, no, I appreciate what you did. Like smart. I just don't want to be collateral damage. So now I'm going to hurt you.
So now they're turning face, right? That's the idea here, or we're not sure.
I don't know, man. I thought so, but then...
Then the acclaim came
Because
out.
I've seen a bit of talk that potentially this can, if they do turn them face, there's the potential to have Billy reunite with his boys to retire because obviously the claim are getting involved.
Yeah.
So
It does seem that they're going to sort of gear towards that because as it happened, so Gun Club stormed down the ring. They all started brawling. Wardlow got Cole out of the ring and then went back in and started cleaning house, essentially. Out come the Acclaim. They helped get rid of Undisputed Kingdom.
Yeah.
And then there was a bit of a moment where Acclaim turned around. Gun Club was still in the ring. Billy's kids, can't remember their names, Austin and Colton. There we go. So they're like, okay, cool. They kind of moved towards him as if they were going to like shake hands or acknowledge, give respect to something or other. And then Jay White bumped them on the shoulders. Right, no, let's go, boys.
okay, yeah. So they're playing it. They're playing on that.
They're playing the story, which is
Cool.
good because
Well,
they're
that
not
sounds
jumping
good.
the gun on that either.
That'd be
Which is
good.
Jumping the gun.
jumping the guns.
Jumping the guns. No, that sounds awesome, man. I'm excited to actually see where this Devil storyline goes. I just don't want. I want them to stretch. This story should stretch out for a bit. This should be the main story for most of 2024.
Yeah.
Don't rush it. Let them cook. Like don't have Wardlow win the title necessarily straight away. Like let's stretch it out.
For
For a
all
little
the
bit.
NXT guy, how long was Undisputed Era? Like 2 years?
Yeah, it was a few. Yeah.
Let it run.
Yeah, let
Let
him
him
run.
be dominant. Let him
Yeah.
run.
Well, now because as you said, right? Because if MJF, you said on the other podcast, he's injured, and if he gets the proper rehabilitation for his injury, it's 6 months minimum.
Yeah,
So
after the surgery.
That's most of this year gone. So you need to have something to fill the MJF void, which is a massive void. Adam Cole and the Undisputed Kingdom are probably the only thing I can think of that's probably going to fill that void.
But how much longer is Adam Cole going to be out? We need some sort of in-ring
Well,
action.
but if he can stay as the mouthpiece, I
Yeah.
think it will work.
yeah,
I think it will work.
it'll have to.
Yeah, he's got it. I think you can't.
He's
not
got to.
have it.
He's
You
got to be
can't
the
not have it.
mouthpiece. Like for them to do that, but then he'll still go away and not do anything. Like
That was a motorbike, by the way, or car, not us getting shot up. I don't know if you could hear that on these new mics or not, but it is the weekend of Summernats, and I should have pointed out on my way here, I couldn't tell if it was a fire or probably just a smokestack from all the burnouts coming up from Summernats, but
No,
it was
it makes
literally
sense.
a column of smoke rising from Epic. So it is Summernats weekend, people.
Makes sense.
So,
that's probably what I saw. I saw a bunch of smoke on my way here. And I was
yeah,
like,
that's Summernats,
Fire?
bro. That's Summernats.
Fire?
So what else happened on Dynamite of note? What else we got?
We had a tag team segment. I think it was just promos, wasn't it? And we got the return of Private Party.
The first match was OC versus Dante Martin. Orange
Oh,
Cassidy. It's a
I
good
didn't.
match.
I didn't really know that.
Okay.
I put one note in here. There was a dude that was walking around behind like the hard camera that had a sign up that says WWE is fake. And he kept like big cheesy grin walking it through. and he thought he was the fucking coolest guy in the world. And security came up real fast.
And they're like, nah, take
Get off.
But yet they didn't get rid of all the world's NDA. NDA and oh, okay, fair enough. Any other matches of note from Dynamite?
The Takeshita versus Darby Allin match.
Oh, I know exactly what you're getting at here.
Yeah, that was pretty bang up. I'm not
Darby
gonna lie.
Allin
He's an
can
idiot.
take a bump.
Yeah, but
he is ridiculous.
The problem is, man, he needs a phone call like Will Ospreay got to be like, bro, just slow it down a bit so you can
Yeah.
have a nice long career. But I mean, the spot looked awesome.
The rolling
but
Germans
damn.
down the entrance ramp.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that one was awesome, but I'm talking about the knee, like the
Oh,
dive
yeah.
out the ring and that knee. Holy crap, man!
That match was 3 moves. It was knees from Takeshita,
Yeah,
coffin drop from Darby, and German suplexes. That's it.
dude. Looking at Darby, I feel like he's gone. My hero is Mick Foley. I'm gonna outdo him. Like he is just. I feel like he watched Mick Foley get thrown off the Hell in a Cell one time and went,
Yeah.
"That's what I want to do." Like he is just
not
getting
surprising.
destroyed, man. And I just worry because I really don't want him to get injured because he actually is a really good wrestler and he sells really well. But
Yeah.
like, just ease up a bit, bro, and save some of these things for some pay-per-views or something.
He needs to
Like,
chill out a bit.
oh, but he's up there, man. Like if he can somehow get some longevity, I think he'll have a very good career. But he just needs to bring it back a little bit.
But yeah, Darby didn't end up winning that match, which was good.
He's an underdog.
Takeshita
He's an
won.
underdog.
It was good.
Yeah, he's an underdog.
Private Party return, you said.
Private
Yep.
Party, yep.
We got the debut of Deonna Purrazzo, which we did cover in our other podcast as well when we did our news and rumors.
Because it was Mariah May's first match.
The debut
Yeah,
match.
and because she's now aligned with Tony.
She thinks she is.
Yeah.
Right.
Tony doesn't know
okay.
who she is yet.
Right. Okay.
Tony's still ignoring her.
All the Aussies getting together because Mariah May's Aussie,
No,
right?
she's English.
No,
She's
she's
English.
English.
Oh, okay.
She's almost the same.
Well, that's controversial.
Anyway,
Okay.
Moving
Yep.
on.
Mariah May. Yep.
Hangman got angry
When is he not?
yeah,
backstage. He got angry. He said he wants to punch someone.
and then,
So then, conveniently, the main event was Swerve versus Daniel Garcia.
it was a decent match.
It was great.
I mean, they're two great wrestlers right there.
They
Yeah.
played up the whole C2 storyline.
I did see the dance off outside with Nana, and yeah, I mean that was okay.
I can't
That,
do- how do you do?
you just got to put your arms there and then just swivel the hips. But
No, it's
I-
all in the hips, man.
I am sad to admit that I have tried it. And
Of course you have.
I failed immensely. I was like, I'm never doing that again. Yeah, look, that was probably what people wanted to see, right? As soon
Yeah.
as they saw that match, they're like, ooh, dance off?
yeah,
They got it.
they got it. They got what they wanted.
They got what they wanted. That's cool.
Swerve wins.
Yep.
And then,
As he should.
for some reason, the beef with them is not done. So Hangman comes out and starts beating up on Swerve.
So are they going
That's
to
who he's
turn
gonna attack.
Swerve face finally? Is that what's going to happen? Because I feel like they should. Someone who comes out and dances like that and gets cheers should not be a heel.
No, they're keeping Hangman in the face.
Yeah.
I reckon he'd make a really good heel. I reckon they should turn him heel.
Hangman?
Yep.
Yeah.
I reckon they
possibly.
should turn him heel. Give him a run. Because, I mean, he's gone okay
Swerve's got
as
the
a
crowd
face.
behind him anyway.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
problem is, like, you've got to build one of those two to face Samoa Joe. Because who else is
Yeah,
facing
true.
Joe? You're not putting
As long,
Wardlow
look,
straight to Joe.
as long as they
No.
don't have another death match, man.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Just don't do that again. We've had it. It's done. Like Millhouse. We did it. It's done. We don't need to do it again. All right? Cool. Okay. Well, AEW. Seems like they've actually got some good stuff cooking.
Yeah.
Over to
What's cooking?
WWE.
speaking of cooking.
Raw. Do
Cooking,
you smell? I
mate.
mean, obviously, look, it was later in the show, but we can
We'll
talk
cover it
about it
now.
first because that's the main thing. Obviously,
Mate.
Rock turned up
Mate.
after the best troll ever, where here's the return of former WWE champion.
I love people up in the crowd.
Oh,
with their
they got
phones up.
so upset.
Oh.
You could feel the audible. Oh, and
Literally.
Jinder Mahal comes out, cuts an awesome promo. By the way, it was very good. Also,
Oh, bashing Americans. How original.
but the best thing was he did their anthem in Punjabi.
Yeah,
where
I gotta admit that.
congratulations, you just booed your own national anthem in Punjabi. I can't remember the word. Oh, what? You're all jinglistic.
Yeah, look it up. It's real.
Look it up. It's a real word. And I was like, that is good heel work.
He did his job.
Oh, dude. Look, I know that it's a bit controversial in terms of his in-ring ability and work, but on the mic, I think he's actually quite good. Like, I love him as a heel. And I'm glad that he was there. The only problem I had as well with this was, obviously, they had the cameraman on the ramp ready for Rock to come in because you saw everybody behind Jinder do this. with their phones, and they weren't even looking at him in the ring. They were looking at the ramp.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
I was
I noticed
oblivious.
it straight
You know
away.
what? I really loved this segment because I was oblivious to what was about to happen. And when Rock's music hit, I literally
Massive,
just I
massive
jumped
pop.
up out of my seat. I was so
like
pumped.
most people, man, and it
But
was
then,
huge.
like, we'll get to it. But like, what he ended this segment with, like,
Yeah.
I was running around I was like jumping on the couch, like, wow,
I watched this with my brother, and I called it the second that Jinder was in the middle of his promo, and he said, "Finally, you all understand that the Rock's coming back."
Oh, they always
As
give
soon
little
as he
hints, huh?
said, and he said it finally. Something. I was like, "That's the Rock."
Well, the other thing, I don't know if anyone else picked up on, and I might be 100% wrong. I think Rock was trying to give Jinder a receipt on the way out of the ring. I don't know if you noticed, he slipped his belt off really quick
Yeah,
and went to
sucked
whip
him
him.
up, yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed as well, when Jinder went out, Rock actually grabbed at his jaw. And if you watch back the replay, I think Jinder
hit him?
accidentally clocked him one in the jaw when he got him in the corner. And
Deserves it.
I think Rock was looking for a receipt, which I don't think Jinder would have minded because he got to be in the ring with the Rock.
Yeah.
So.
he got the people's rub.
So that was cool. Obviously, big pop of the night. It was probably the biggest thing of the night. And considering there's, 2 other title matches on the card, that's
Yeah.
pretty epic that
Yeah.
overshadowed.
Do you know what I liked? The way the show started with Cole and Wade Barrett in the ring.
Oh,
Yeah,
hyping it up.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
I think they
too.
need to do that
way
every
better
week.
than them behind the
I think they need to keep that up.
Yeah,
And
I liked it.
No, I think that was a good start. And we already mentioned this match a little bit on our 2023 wrap-up, actually. We actually pointed it out. But the first match, I wasn't looking forward to at all. I thought it was going to be a bit crappy, but turned out to be really good. Was
yeah,
Becky Lynch
I was actually
versus
really
Nia.
surprised how good that match was.
Which shows, like we say in our other video, about how good Becky Lynch is. Because, I know there's people out there who are probably fans of Nia, but let's be honest, her in-ring work is not the greatest. She's not a great wrestler. I'm starting to warm up to her character a bit more and her being a heel and everything else, but her in-ring work is not fantastic. And her and Becky pulled off a hell of a match. Was a slight shame that Becky's blood capsule went off before she jumped off the turnbuckle.
Apparently that
but-
was legit.
Legit blood?
Yeah.
No,
it was a capsule.
it was a capsule for sure.
She was
Unless they're
bleeding.
just trying to play it off.
Yeah, well, they're trying to play off the original punch, right? Like that's the whole
It's
point.
too convenient otherwise.
Yeah, it's way too convenient. But look, the whole match itself, I was shocked by the result. Nia gets the win.
Yeah.
But it was a good match. It was a very good match. Actually went a lot longer than I realized. What was that? 11 minutes. 11,
12
maybe
minutes,
12
nearly.
minutes. So
Good on him.
good way to start the show. We then had a little bit of
There was the Cody
a
promo.
concern.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody. Sorry, Cody came out and did.
These Shinsuke promos are great.
Oh, they're
with all the
brilliant,
graphics
man.
and stuff in them. I love it. It's so good.
I'm so glad they're letting him do them. I know they're all pre-recorded, but the fact that he's doing them in his own language, and you can see the difference in his charisma and confidence.
Yeah, definitely.
And the wording, if he's writing them, he's a wordsmith, man. Like the way he's writing them, it's very poetic. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. But yeah, we've already talked about all the stuff because obviously we already talked about on the other one, what does it mean for Mania for Cody with Rock coming back and everything. So check out our other video to see how we feel about that. But the tag match. So we had Jey Uso
Yeah.
teaming up with former Kofi Claus.
Former Santa.
Which, by the way, I loved the call from, I think it was Wade Barrett, about the stolen valor. About Kofi dressing up as Santa Claus. Stolen valor. That was my call for the night.
Yeah, that was good.
But this one ended really early because, unfortunately, Giovanni Vinci went to jump off the turnbuckle to hit Kofi. Kofi hit a drop kick and got him in the face for real.
Locked him.
And Giovanni went down, hit his head, and I don't think anyone realized immediately, but then it became quite obvious when the camera was looking just at Jay and Kaiser. And it did pull back a bit, and we saw the X, which now everybody knows what that means.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think the ref did the right thing and went, no, let's just ring the bell, let's end it. We don't have time.
Yeah, especially with head knocks and stuff like that.
Just, yeah,
These days, you
be
need
safe.
to just be safe, call it off. Which is it was kind of weird because I was watching it at the time and then I missed the bump and then the ref called the bell. I was like, wait, what happened? So
Yeah.
I rewound it a bit, saw it, and I was like, oh yeah, that looks bad. It looked
You
like
can see Jay's face in the
he
background.
looked
goes,
so annoyed though. Yeah. But,
Yeah,
he looked
well,
so
'cause I
annoyed
think-
at the match got called off.
Well,
I was
because
like,
him,
come on,
you
man.
could see him and Kaiser both were trying to do the old school thing of, let's change it on the fly and we'll
Yeah.
finish the match.
Yeah.
And obviously someone, because the doctor was in the ring, and I think someone, as soon as there was a doctor involved, they went, no, just stop it. Just
Yeah.
let's finish it. And hopefully, I mean, he did send out a message afterwards on X to say that, hey, I'm all good. Thank you for checking in.
That's
so
good.
hopefully he's not out of the ring for any long period of time.
No.
Then we had
Miss TV.
a Miz TV awesome segment where the Judgment Day were appearing on Miz TV. Judgment Day music hits, changes to R-Truth's music. R-Truth comes out with his adapted Judgment Day shirt and obviously says he's out there on behalf of the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
JD McDonough and Dominic come out because obviously they're annoyed with the fact that R-Truth is pretending that he's still in Judgment Day. And obviously R-Truth points out the fact that, hey man, you lost the loser leaves Judgment
He's
Day
right.
match.
He is right there.
And essentially it ends up being a match between Miz and R-Truth and Dom and JD
Return of
McDonough.
the Awesome Truth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is awesome. But I think the best spot in this was when the fact that R-Truth did the I'm sorry, JD.
I'm sorry, I love you.
I love you. Super kick to the face.
It was a punch.
Was it a punch? I thought he super kicked him.
JD was holding Miz back.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
he?
Sorry. I think, yeah. No, it was.
Because he's like, I'm sorry, Miz. I
Yeah.
love you. Because he was meant to be teaming with him.
That's
But then, yeah,
right.
Miz
Sorry.
ducked.
And he hits JD.
He clocks JD.
But it was, I'm loving that whole comedy bit with R-Truth,
Yeah, it's
man.
so
He
good having
is-
R-Truth back.
It's diminishing the Judgment Day, though.
It is a little bit, but mainly JD and Dom. So that's okay. As long as they keep it away from the
They can
rest
be
of them.
cannon fodder for the time being.
We had Rhea Ripley versus Ivy Nile for the women's heavyweight title, and this was a good match.
Good match. Good showing by Ivy
It
in
put
her
Ivy
first
over.
championship match. Yeah.
I mean, she didn't go over.
No,
Rhea
didn't go
obviously
over, but-
retained. But
Yeah.
I think the match was what it was supposed to be. There was a couple of points where obviously I think they just need to work together a bit more to get the timing right. But overall, good match, and it did what it needed to do. We're not even going to talk about that tag match that I've got on the screen because no one cares.
It's a bit rough.
I know
Got to
it's
at least
harsh to
mention
say,
their
but-
names.
Okay, well, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark defeated Natalya and Tegan Knox.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
The Z360 looks great. Love that.
Yeah,
move.
I love
It
Zoe's
does look
finishing
good.
move.
It does
Yeah.
look good, but
There was the
That needed to be a number one contenders match for people to get really vested
Yeah.
into it.
and let's be honest,
But it was just like a
Shayna and Zoe should have squashed them.
yes.
well,
We
five
should be
and a
putting them
half
over.
minute match. That's
Yeah.
technically a
And you
squash
think
match,
about
right?
the promo they had before with the Katana chants and that in the nightclub.
Yeah.
That was very weirdly filmed for me.
Yeah, I don't know how I felt watching that. I was like, this is really weird.
Yeah.
I liked it.
But it's different.
It's different. Like sometimes we need to change it up like that. I
Yeah,
think.
true. But I think it's just odd that, you've got a team like Zoe and Shayna and they're not number one contenders. They're not the champions. Like, they would dominate.
Yeah.
Right? The idea, they should be the dominant tag team. So, a bit odd for me.
Yeah.
And then obviously the main event
Oh,
for the evening, and this was a good match because these two have been cooking and they've put on some good matches,
they have.
was Drew McIntyre challenging Seth again for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Such a good match. I thought this was it.
Oh, dude. And I think, but again, this is where we get frustrated because obviously...
Seth
oh,
retained.
man. You could, look, okay. Judgment Day music hits. Well, Damien's music hits. This is right near the end of the match, we should point out, after they've already had a bit of a banger.
And they've had 3 commercial breaks in the match.
Oh, dude, the commercial breaks kill me. Oh, and I think we missed the start of the match in this one, actually. They started wrestling while there was a ad break. And we came back to them already wrestling, and I thought, what's going on? But obviously, look, Damien comes to cash in again. He's got Dom with him. He ends up hitting Seth with the briefcase.
Yeah. When the ref's back is turned. Yeah.
Then goes around the corner, and unfortunately, the way the camera was, it was very obvious what was going to happen because you could see Drew McIntyre in the background just lining him up for a claymore.
Yeah.
And so we knew straight away, we're like, well, here's another failed cash
Another
in,
failed cash in.
which is exactly what happened. And I just don't get it either because Damien got claymored, and then obviously Drew went back in the ring. Seth ended up winning because he was able to recover from being hit in the head with the briefcase.
Well,
And
Drew
he still-
Claymore Priest.
Yep.
Back in the ring.
Yep.
Claymored
Seth.
Seth.
Yep.
They did the repeat of when Seth defended his title against Neville back in
held the rope spot,
2014
yep.
Yeah.
with the rope spot.
It was a good
Arched his
spot.
legs too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just, and then
But then
recovered
the thing,
from that,
but
Seth
then
wins.
The thing I don't get is then by the time Seth won, Damien had recovered and was standing on his feet. And I'm standing there
And
going,
just-
cash in now!
Yeah, he's just in at the barricade doing this one.
Why
and
are
it's
you
just
not
like,
cashing in now? Seth's still there and he's still hurt. Like, what?
Yeah.
That to me is what makes
But
the
this is-
storyline not... If Damien was still there knocked out, then it would make more sense. If
This
the
is
Claymore
why-
had knocked him out
This
completely.
is why I made my prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially after that showing. Like,
And you won't
they're
cash
not
in.
building up Damien to be a credible threat with
the-
that briefcase.
It's really sad, dude,
The
because I
thing
love
that-
Damien.
It's so sad.
I love Damien.
What gets me is like what you're saying, right? The heist of the century was such a great moment.
Yeah.
You're not replicating that on Raw. So stop trying to cash in during the match.
Yeah.
Let the match finish.
And
let the
then
champion
cash
be
in.
yeah, done. But then once the match is done, right?
Mm.
You can have the entire Judgment Day. JD, Dom, Bella, go there, stomp him to hell,
Yeah.
and then cash in and you win.
And if you...
But they're not doing that.
No, and they're not even showing, because we haven't seen much of Judgment Day backstage either with the whole them not gelling. We've seen a little bit of it before Christmas,
Yeah.
but since
Yeah.
then there's been...
It's just all our truth.
Right, yeah, exactly. So we're not seeing them going, no, Damien, we're not going to help you.
Yeah.
They're just not there. So it's just making him look like an idiot, and they're really booking it poorly. But it was a bit of a unfortunate ending to what was actually a really good first show of the year. Other than that, I actually thought overall, bloody good show.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
To start the year off.
Definitely.
So then we went to NXT.
Yeah, I'll give a quick rundown of NXT. Kicked off the night with the NXT Women's Championship match. Laura Valkyria versus Blair Davenport.
Yep.
Great match, lots of back and forth. There was this really nice spot when they were out on the outside. Blair was holding Lyra's arms against the announce table to give her a massive knee. Lyra moves out of the way, knees the crap out of the announce table.
Ow.
Great looking spot. We then got back in the ring. Lyra got the advantage, ended up getting the win.
Yep.
We had Lola Vice, who won the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament.
Yep.
She's got her contract. She came running down the ring
Gotta
to cash in.
Oh.
Got stopped by Tatum Paxley, who's been kind of like haunting and stalking Lyra Valkyria. So it helped.
Oh, she's not
Lola-
put her head on the pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So she helped Lyra not have her title reign demolished by Lola Vice. So some interesting stuff going on there. They're still playing it out a little bit where like later in the night, Tatum Paxley came over and was like, oh, I just want to see you be champion for as long as I can see you be champion. So at some point they'll do like them feuding for the title for sure. So we then move on to a backstage promo from the backstage announcer. Dragunov is not cleared to wrestle tonight.
Right.
So the title
'Cause
match
he was
is
supposed to
off.
face Trick, right?
Yeah, they were supposed to have the title match tonight. Not happening. What did happen was we had a backstage promo where Carmelo Hayes and Trick were talking. Trick was getting interviewed, and he's like, I want Ilya to be 100%, so when I take the title off him, it's going to mean that
No
he was...
excuses, yeah.
no excuses whatsoever.
Yeah.
Out comes Grayson Waller to interrupt. Surprise, surprise.
Okay, I watched NXT, all right.
Yeah, you should have this week. It was actually
dude,
a really
this
good
is
one.
Not, this is not the only thing.
It's
you
not
wait
the
till
only
we
thing.
get to the match.
You're going to be Devo, mate.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Devo.
so Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams get interrupted by Grayson Waller. Start going back and forth. Carmelo Hayes says to Grayson, Trick so much better than you, he'll put his championship opportunity on the line. Grayson accepts. Trick's standing in the back going, what?
Why would you
I
do
don't
that,
know.
bro?
Why would you do that?
Huh?
And he's like, no, don't
Yeah.
worry. It's
Oh,
fine.
it gets
You've got
better,
this.
Bro.
Yeah,
Gets
yeah.
better. You wait.
We'll talk about
You
that
wait.
later.
We're not even there yet.
So we had Catch Quarter Crew. What's his name?
I don't know. You tell me, bro.
Fire, I'm blanking hard. It's so bad.
I have no idea who they are, but I know the spot you're going to talk about.
Yeah. So Catch Quarter Crew against LWO. Hadn't announced their third partner yet. Out comes Carlito, surprise member of their tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously,
With probably one of the best spots.
Oh,
ever.
this spot
Off the
absolutely
ropes.
fantastic.
Did you see the TikTok I sent you where they did that and someone added the Creed music to the background of
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
I
Love it.
thought you were going to send me a little love heart emoji for that, man. I was disappointed because I know you love Creed.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you
Come.
take me higher?
It was so good though. I've never seen a spot like that
Dude.
before.
It was so well done.
So,
So
for those
well
of you who might not have seen it, Carlito's on one side, Cruz del Toro is on the other. We've got Joaquin Phoenix standing on the middle rope, and they launch him off the middle rope. He gets about 20 feet of air,
Oh, dude.
It's huge.
takes out catch quarter crew.
But also the way he did it too just made it look
just
even with
like-
the curled legs. He's
Like,
like, you know, oh,
Lois from Family Guy. Just,
Yeah, it literally was. It literally was.
oh,
yeah.
fantastic spot.
It was brilliant.
Loved it. So obviously, like, Carlito ended up getting a hot tag.
Yep.
They got the win because, of course, they did.
Of course.
We had Roxanne Perez versus Ariana Grace, which ended up Roxanne Perez won, but started attacking Ariana after the match. I believe she locked in a submission and wouldn't let go. And then because she wouldn't listen to the ref actually ended up taking her victory off her.
Oh, okay. It's an interesting finish.
Yeah. I haven't seen that happen in a while.
No.
Thought it was an
Not at
interesting
all.
note to have. We had Fallon Henley defeat Tiffany Stratton, which I was a little surprised
Really?
at. But
Okay.
they had the clause in the match, whoever won would become the other person's like servant
Slave or
for the
whatever,
week.
yeah.
So it would have been Fallon as Tiffany's servant, but
It's funny that
Tiffany
happened.
is going to be the farmhand for Fallon. She's like the whole cowgirl stuff. So
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So there's
Maybe
obviously going to be some funny vignettes.
There's going to be
and
some vignettes next week
her
for sure.
mucking out the stables, mate. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
I'm going to watch that.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. All right.
We got a backstage segment with Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin, which I
yep.
chuffed about because we got the Dusty Tag Team Classic that got announced.
Sorry, I accidentally touched his leg under the table. And he with that voice you got now, Dan, I tell you what, man.
They've
Close your eyes, all the same.
they kind of like reluctantly agreed to be a tag team, but only because they can
Oh,
both
cool,
just like
man.
beat the shit out of each other. And I, before the segment had even finished, had an absolute brain explosion of what their
Always
finisher
cooking.
should be.
Yeah, yep.
Baron, when he does the end of days, right?
Yep.
He gets them down and then
Yep.
that way, as he's cracking them down, spear from Bron Breakker.
Dude, if they can
Yeah,
pull it
What
off.
if they can pull off the timing? Like it's going to take a bit to get the timing right, but if they can pull that off,
It's like the Solo and Roman
that,
one.
that's
as
an
well.
absolutely devastating finishing move, and
that would be sick.
they're my winners for the Dusty Tag Classic.
Yeah. Oh, they should be too.
Because
They should
this
be.
is what they do in NXT. They pair two singles competitors up, and then they win. Ricochet, Aleister Black, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
It's happened several times in the past.
It's gonna happen
You mark
again.
My words.
gonna
I'm
happen
calling
again.
it now.
But then we get to the main event, right?
Yeah, get to the main event. Trick Williams versus Grayson Waller. Winner gets the number one contendership.
There was some shenanigans in
You
this,
missed
Dan.
Shenanigans.
Obi Femi winning the tournament.
Okay.
Yeah, I did, but
Good on
Yeah.
you.
I wasn't.
Highlights.
Yeah. I called him to win it from the start. Just putting that out there.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's get to
Just
the
putting it
shenanigans,
out
man.
there.
Let's get
Yeah.
to the shenanigans.
Shenanigans, mate. Title opportunity match against Grayson Waller.
So obviously, Trick in the match that Mello
Put him in.
agreed to.
Absolutely. And before the match, Trick said, I got to do this on my own. Don't come out to the ring. So what happened?
He comes out to the ring.
Mello comes out to the ring
Yeah,
at
of
some
course.
point. As Trick's trying to get
That's
like the finish
Bailey
done.
Wrestling Book 101.
Yeah. So he gets interrupted. They do a little back and forth. Grayson Waller's standing on the outside of the ring, and he's sort of standing there, just like letting Trick and Mello do their thing. And he stands up and he looks to his left because earlier in the night, Shawn Michaels said, "Oh, a former NXT champion wants to come watch the main event,"
Oh, did he now?
He did.
Yeah.
but nothing
might that
happened
be?
up until the end of the match. And Grayson Waller looks to his left, and he sees Kevin Owens. Ref's back turn. Kevin Owens gives Grayson Waller the punch, throws him back in the ring. Trick gets the victory.
But while this was happening, you forgot to mention that Carmelo came out and was distracting Trick. So
I just said that.
No, you missed that bit, didn't you?
No,
No,
I
he
just
said
said that.
How did I miss you saying that?
The Bailey 101 Wrestling Book is the
Yeah.
when you're told not to go out, to go out.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So they're being distracted, and as he did that punch. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
And Mello had just finished like talking to Trick, and Trick turns around. Grayson's in the ring. Boom.
I did love the
the finish.
confusion that Trick and Mello played off. Like,
Yeah.
it literally was like, well, what are you doing here? Like, what's going on? I'm so confused.
And Mello's like, no, you got to hit him, get him.
yeah. They actually played
Very
it off
well
quite
played off. Yeah, very well.
So Trick one.
Yeah. He still
As
has
he
his,
should.
Still faces Ilya.
Yes. He still has his title.
We're still waiting for that match. Okay. Still, I know I'm keen.
But
for
yeah, I
it,
thought it was really weird because like we had 2 weeks ago. I didn't actually watch NXT last week. I didn't realize they were going to have a show.
I thought there was just highlights.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be a highlight show as well, so I didn't actually watch it. But they had a promo between Trick and Ilya where like they were like, yeah, match is still on. Whereas the week before it was like,
Because what
he
have-
was, like,
have they
comatose or-
addressed the injury that Ilya had where he got
well,
because of Ridge? It still was Ridge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
But have they addressed it? as to what it was?
Not
No.
from what I've seen.
They've
no.
just said he's not medically
And like
cleared.
because I didn't watch last week's, I only saw that they did the
And there's
promo.
obviously
I
no
have a
match.
feeling it's kayfabe because otherwise
It's gotta
we
be.
probably
It's gotta
would
be.
have seen something
Because
by
they
now.
actually had a promo with Reece Holland on NXT where he's like, didn't want it to happen, but it's like I've got to live with it. It's
Yeah.
happened.
I feel like there's going
They
to be
did
something.
kind of play it off
yeah.
storyline wise a little bit, so I think that instance is probably kayfabe as it shouldn't. You don't mess around with next stuff after what happened with Big E.
No. I feel like they're trying to obviously play off what's happening between Trick and Carmelo potentially before Trick has that match with Ilya. Or it may be during the match. I don't know. But obviously they're trying to accelerate that storyline.
Yeah,
now, I
because
think.
Carmelo did not look happy that Trick retained that
No.
title opportunity. So it's a slow burn, but it's coming to its
But they are
crescendo
cooking,
shortly.
man. And they are cooking well.
Yeah.
All right. So that
All right.
was NXT, right?
Time to smacky D.
SmackDown.
Smack
And
some
I mean, there's
ego.
not much to talk about on SmackDown because there
There's
wasn't a
not.
lot of matches, was there? Now that I look back on the run sheet, I'm like, it felt like there wasn't a lot on SmackDown, and it's true because there's a million ads.
There's so many promo segments.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
there was a lot of promos, and I can't even remember them all. But obviously, to open the show, we had the final for the US champion #1 contender. So that was between Kevin Owens and Santos Escobar. It was an okay match.
Logan Paul on commentary.
Yeah, Logan Paul came
Love
out,
Logan
which was
Paul on commentary.
brilliant.
He's so good on
I
commentary.
was,
very
I
funny.
was watching a podcast today about it. They said the one thing that I think Kevin Owens has said to Logan Paul is stop burying everybody that you're against.
Yeah.
Because the amount of times Logan came out and was like, they were like, oh, have you been paying attention to things? He's like, I'm not paying attention to any of them. I'm better than all, and none of them can beat me anyway. And I think someone had a word to him and was like, hey, if you do that, that means when you beat them, it means nothing.
Yeah.
You have to like still pump them up. Being
Yeah.
a heel, say you're better, but pump that person up. Because there's a
because
few
he
times.
did start doing that with Kevin Owens
Correct.
throughout the match.
Yeah, true.
But it felt like someone was in his ear or specifically saying, hey,
You can't bury all of them. Because
Yeah.
I think it was when, it might have been, if that's the case, because I think they said, oh, but what if you need to face Santos? And really what he should have done, because Santos was the heel, is gone, oh, well, he'd be a formidable opponent, but he buried him too and
Yeah.
went, I don't care. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
he's also a heel. You probably should have gone, well, yes, Santos most likely will win this match, but, he's still not good enough to
bet
beat
Ray I
me
can
or
beat
something.
him,
He'll beat me. It might be a tough match, but yeah, he sort of just went, I don't care.
yeah.
So, but he's learning. Like, he's learning.
Yeah,
as
he's
gone.
getting
And let's remember, he hasn't had that many matches.
No.
Like, he's still so new. But I think having him on commentary definitely added to it. And obviously the fact that when Kevin got the win and he came into the ring, that's what everyone was waiting for, was
Yeah.
obviously that. And the fact that they did, because obviously they play off the fact that Logan's got the punch because of his boxing. Kevin
KO's
punched
got the
him
punch
and
now,
KO'd
mate.
him.
See the shiner he's got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
Oh, did he
notice
actually
that.
get him?
He hit him.
I haven't seen anything.
And
since.
I feel like maybe, again, that might have been a receipt for the fact that Logan's been burying everybody. And I know there's probably parts where, Kevin, I mean, obviously they usually check things before promos and matches and be like, I'm going to say this kind of thing and do that. But I have to admit, like, Logan has been referring to Kevin's body shape a lot.
Too much.
And I feel like Kevin, there might be a point to that where he's like, okay, you've mentioned it now.
Enough's
You've
enough,
mentioned
man.
it a little bit too many times.
We get it. He's a shortly fellow.
stout.
Yeah,
He's a
stout.
real man. Represents real men. Real shapes. Round is a shape.
All shapes
Round
and
is a
sizes.
shape. But that's what started the show, and that's obviously setting up for a really cool US title shot. Do you think it's going to be at the Rumble, or will it be saved for elimination?
It's already booked
chamber?
for the Rumble.
Oh, it's booked for the Rumble. They have confirmed that.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that bit. Sorry. Confirmed for the Rumble.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, does that mean that neither of them will be in the Rumble?
What? No.
I think so.
Maybe not.
Don't.
Maybe not.
I think this show, with the winners and the way they've booked stuff, is to put all of these people out of the Rumble picture to allow
I thought it for
Them
the
to
other one. I didn't
focus
know about. I didn't think about this one. though.
stories.
Okay. Other match we had, and you said this before, random. We had Mi Chin got a title shot against Io Sky.
Well, she did pin her on the last
Yeah, she did, but
Match
I guess
SmackDown,
you know
but
when you
like-
put someone through a table.
Yeah.
The match was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Wasn't too bad. Meechin, they had to go to an ad break because her outfit, I don't know if you noticed this, had a malfunction.
I did not.
Literally, the back of her top just completely burst open.
Oh, Jesus.
And she tried to fix it, and she had to turn to the ref and say, I can't fix it. And they went for an ad break, came back, and I don't know where they got it. It looked like a shoelace or something, but in the end, they had to literally
tie
get
it.
a rope or something to tie up the back of her gear
Jesus.
because it obviously had just completely snapped. But they were able to fix it, get on with the match.
Yeah,
It didn't look
that's
like
good.
she actually changed the way she was wrestling. They tied it on pretty good.
Yeah.
Good thing was she was wearing underwear, so if there was any sort of fly off, I don't think there would have been too much embarrassment. It was just more the fact that obviously with the moves they're doing, they need to be covered up. But
Yeah.
match was okay. EO got the win. I think they probably needed to put Meechin out there because she keeps appearing but hasn't really wrestled one-on-one much. We've seen her
No.
in multiple
Tag
women
matches, and
but
other stuff, yeah.
yeah, so I think that's probably what they were more trying to do, was just try and give her a little bit of exposure, I guess, to the television crowd, because we haven't really seen much of her other than backstage with
The club.
the club.
The
yes.
OC.
Then we had
Bobby Lashley promo.
Bobby Lashley promo, yes, where he came out with
Street Profits.
Street Profits and obviously was putting them over, saying, "Oh, I've been teamed up with these guys. It's been great." We had Montez and Angelo. Angelo, yes. I just completely blanked. Also,
See, it happens to the
having a
best
chat.
of us, man.
What was funny was that I don't know what happened with. Why am I blanking? I just said his name, not Angelo.
Dawkins.
No, not Angelo Montez.
Wow.
I'm doing the same thing he did. He was sort of stuttering over his lines a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the exact same thing. It's probably karma for me picking on him.
Yep.
But what was interesting was I kind of feel like that was obviously a attempt at a face turn.
Well, yeah, definitely a face turn now, because like Bobby's saying he didn't get what he wanted out of 2023, so he's going to do better this year. And then music hits.
And he also stated that I'm declaring for the Rumble.
Yeah.
Was obviously the big thing of it.
So we
as
got
well.
that as well. And
Music
then,
hits for Karrion Kross.
Yep. Got a little video vignette. Lights go down. Karrion Kross walks out into the spotlight.
Scarlett
flanked by
walks out one side.
Scarlett, who's dyed her hair
Dark.
dark brown.
Very dark, yep.
Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And then flanked on the other side by a returning Paul Ellering.
Yep.
Oh, pumped, mate.
You know what that means?
Means authors of pain are
back. The only problem with this was they came into the ring and the crowd went mild.
This
I
also
don't know-
happened for another debut.
I
there.
don't know if it's because of AOP or
Well-
if it's Karrion Kross that people are kind of.
I think it's probably a little bit of both. I think, like, I've seen some stuff online. I can't remember if it was us or the stuff that I saw online. People are like, this is... If Karrion can't get over with this,
is
he's
his last
done.
chance, yeah.
He's done.
I seriously think this is his last chance, dude. Because like no one really cared.
And I think they
was
really
a
need
bit
to
sad.
write it well for the crowd to get vested into it. Because, like, with the promo that we got, I think it was 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, where he said, like, all the stuff that I did with McIntyre, with Ray, with Shinsuke, like, it's all changed who they are as people now. Like, they've changed because of the interaction they've had.
Yeah.
Karen. It was a really great way to try and propel his character up from some of
Yeah.
the random feuds that he's had. So I really hope they can continue that good work.
Yeah.
Try and portray
cool.
him.
Well,
and-
let's see what happens in the Rumble, because obviously, you know, Bobby declared for the Rumble before this happened, so you would assume that Karrion's going to be
Karrion
in
will be
there.
there as well.
So there must be some sort of face-off, and you know, more than likely,
He-
one of the other's going to eliminate the other, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to get the feud going. So
Because, like,
call
you've
them?
got Karen and you've got Authors of Pain.
What do you call him? What's the faction name?
it's a good question.
Because it's got to have a good name.
What
The
do
End
you
of
call
Time.
them?
The End of Time.
Oh, that's not bad.
For-
Authors of
sorry,
Time?
sorry. No.
AOT?
'Cause
AOL?
all the Karen stuff is based off time, and, like, he's always got the hourglass with the sand in it. So kind of play off that, maybe.
Yeah, okay. Sands of Time?
Pain Time.
Sand, pain sand? Sand pain?
They all sound.
Sand in my pants?
They all sound like shitty ECW wrestlers.
Moving on.
So anyway, yeah. Then we got to tag match, which we had Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy.
Yes, boy.
Would be wrestling against Butch and a mystery partner.
Mystery partner.
Which turned
Who
out
was
to
it?
be the call-up for Tyler Bate
That's
from
5
NXT.
years too late.
Yeah.
Tyler Bate, 5 years too late. There you go.
Well,
No
like,
rhymes.
much like when the Authors of Pain came out,
Yeah.
the crowd went mild, which
Yeah.
I'm bummed for Tyler Bate about that. Because
Yeah.
had it happened a few years back, I reckon he would have got a bit of a
Huge
bigger
pop.
pop. But
Yeah.
he's just been kind of floundering on NXT for a little bit. So it's good that he's now finally got the call up, but like, sucks that he didn't
But again,
get
I think
much of
this was another match where, similar to the women's tag match on Raw, where there was no stipulation, right? Like
Yeah.
you didn't get anything from winning this match. Like there was no.
No.
And considering there wasn't very many matches on the card, I kind of felt like you needed to have a bit more story behind all of them. Because obviously we're going to get to the main event in a minute, and that's got a massive story behind it. So some of these other matches, you need a bit more behind them. So like whether or not there was going to be, you know, a number one contender shot or something.
Well, I think
like,
there's just
know.
been a lot
Just-
of back and forth.
They need to. They need to get there now.
It's
Now we've got all
apparently
these tag
coming.
teams set up.
There's too many tag
It's
teams
apparently
now.
the tag titles will be split
With
before
the
Mania.
returns of the Authors of Pain as well, like
Yeah.
it's got to be, right? They've
But
got
yeah,
to split them again.
With them, like Butch and Pretty Deadly, they've been having interactions for like a couple months now.
Yeah.
It feels like. So I feel like they got the win. Maybe this needs to be the nail in the
A
coffin.
double Tyler
They can move
Driver
it.
97.
Yeah, that was nice finish.
sick.
Yeah.
Nice finish.
We skipped over Roman obviously starting the show.
Yeah, getting
Where
out of the
he just
car and
laughed at The
turning
Rock
up.
when
But
he
yeah,
walked
it
off.
wasn't much. But
But
then
then
we got
there's
the
the Heyman
promo.
promo.
Yeah,
That was good.
addressing it.
Oh, Paul Heyman, yeah. I mean, he's the greatest talker, man. Like he is so good. And I love the fact that he did acknowledge that CM Punk made reference to being the first Paul Heyman guy, and he's like, that's true, but I upgraded.
Yeah.
He's
I went
such a
from
good
best
talker.
friend
The only
to
way to get
advocate
viral
to
is
wise
to
man.
date Taylor Swift or fight Roman Reigns.
Oh, that was a good call.
Such
That
a
was a
good
good call. No, it was a very good promo.
Always is from Paul.
But then obviously we get to the main event.
Oh, what a
yeah,
match,
yeah,
man!
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What?
What?
You're skipping over
Oh, what now?
Skipping over what?
Ashante Diadonis asking for a match with Nick Aldis.
He wasn't asking for a match. He was asking for an opportunity.
Opportunity. Yeah.
Which I
okay.
thought, well, like, here's the thing. I looked at it and I was like, cool. They're going to do something with him.
You know what they're doing? They're going to feed him to Karrion Kross next week.
You know what I
Probably.
reckon?
He's going to get destroyed.
Probably.
Well, I was thinking maybe they're going to give him some sort of authoritative backstage figure.
No.
Like he can
Nah,
be...
he'll probably get buried.
Nick
Yeah.
Aldis is a heel.
Yeah.
He is going to feed him to the Authors of Pain or someone.
Yeah,
as
he'll
a
get
heelish
destroyed.
act.
Yeah.
How is it a heelish act?
Because I'm going to look after you.
No.
I'm going to give you an
I
opportunity.
haven't finished my sentence.
Oh, sorry.
Because, like,
Watch yourself.
we're about to talk about the match. But how is it a heel move to put Roman in a fatal four-way at the pay-per-view? That's
he's-
not a move from a heel general manager.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you're
Roman
jumping,
did the
you're
wrong
jumping the
thing.
gun a bit here.
Yeah, but, like...
He's proving to Roman that I'm the big dog.
Yeah, he's
You
the
don't
boss.
run the show. I run the show.
Exactly.
So
That's-
after he said, yes, I'll give you an opportunity to Adonis, we get to the main event, which was the triple threat. Now, this was for the winner to have a shot at the title, Roman's title, at the Royal Rumble. So we had AJ Styles versus Randy Orton versus LA Knight.
Yeah.
Now, this was a good triple threat
Let's
match.
do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should the whole podcast
Tell you
over
what,
like
it was,
this.
and I tell you what, it was funny because obviously LA Knight a couple of times had to take the ref out to stop the and obviously, you know,
Well,
Nick
that's
Aldis
great
just went,
storytelling.
there's no disqualifications.
Yeah,
He can
it's
do what he
triple threat.
wants.
No
and
DQ.
obviously, you know, it made it quite obvious what was going to happen. The fact that they kept saying there's no disqualifications in a triple threat match. There's no disqualifications in a triple threat
Oh,
match.
you people know it's obvious what was
Well,
going to
you
happen.
know, it was pretty obvious too that it meant that the bloodline were going to interfere
You know,
because
it's good.
that's what happened.
Sometimes I enjoy being somewhat stupid sometimes because then I am oblivious to things
Sometimes?
happening.
Well,
And then
then
it's
look.
like,
The bloodline came out. They attacked all three.
Yep.
We're taking them out systematically.
So, my comment on this part
Yep.
is this made Roman feel like the big boss again. Because when his music hit,
Yeah.
Randy cowering into the corner.
Yeah.
LA Knight bleeding.
Yeah.
AJ Styles.
They were all down.
They were all down. They were like,
Yeah.
oh crap, this is happening now.
yeah,
Yeah.
This was the moment that Roman went back here again.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
What was interesting though, because obviously they came in and they did the, you know, each person got the finishes on them, the Superman punch, you know, the power bomb, the Samoan spike with the spear, all that kind of stuff. Like they were taking them all out. What I found very interesting, and I'm sure it would have been pretty crappy for the audience at the venue, not so bad for us at home, was the fact that Nick Aldis allowed Roman and everyone else to keep doing stuff in the ring, and between him and Heyman, obviously did the, you can tell your boy when he's done, he's just booked himself a fatal four-way match
Yeah.
at the Rumble. Great for us because we can hear it, but I kind of felt for the people at the show because I don't know if maybe they said it after the cameras went off or how they would have, but I'm sure that probably what it's leading to is the fact that Paul Heyman has to be the one to deliver that news
He's already done
to
it.
Roman.
He's already done it.
Yeah, and obviously him being the wise man, Roman will blame him because it was probably his idea to go out and attack them, or he didn't give him wise man advice to not do that, etc. So I feel like that must be where they're trying to play it into the story, because they didn't do the whole, well, Roman, you've just booked yourself a fatal four-way match, because I feel like that would have had a bit more impact and the whole crowd reacting, but obviously it must tie into the story somehow.
Oh, we all just knew it was coming.
But you think it means that Roman's going to lose the belt. I know that's what you think, because it means that people can pin other people in the match, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Fantasy booking, it's a way that he can lose the title without being pinned and thus not lose the head of the table.
Because if Randy wins, he would tie John Cena,
No, he's still a couple behind.
He's still a couple behind?
He'd be 15.
and John Cena's 16, same as Ric Flair. Right, so he's still behind. Okay.
But that would then give you a legacy, finish the story match.
Yeah,
at
I don't.
WrestleMania.
I think Legacy will come after once Cody's won it later on in the year, mate. Then Randy will go after him. But that's it. That's the wrap
That's
up
the
of
week
the
in wrestling.
shows.
I'm pretty keen for this week.
Dude, there's a lot we're sort of just anticipating and waiting on, isn't there?
The Punker is back.
Oh,
The Punker.
Punky Brewster.
He'll be back on Raw.
The Punker. It's a nice nickname.
Yeah, the Punker.
we need to I don't want him to hang too much on Rock. I was kind of hoping he was going to show up on SmackDown.
I feel like they've worked something out.
Yeah, they have to.
They have worked out a date for him to wrestle Roman.
but they don't want to give it away.
They
too
would
soon.
not have teased that on live television otherwise.
But they also can't not do anything for weeks.
Yeah.
He
You
has
need to
to-
tell
he
us. You
has
need to
to
tell
come
us
back on.
soon. Yeah.
Roman,
need to
because
tell us.
otherwise, I suppose you can let Roman focus on the Royal Rumble match, then bring The Rock in.
Yeah.
But
Like
I
if-
also think the best thing to do would be to bring The Rock in before the Rumble, to have him on the back of Roman's mind, to just add a bit more conjecture to what Roman's going to do.
Yeah. I feel
Whether he
like
wins or not.
hopefully Rock's either in the Rumble or is at the
at
Rumble,
the Rumble, yeah.
and has interaction
It's in
with Roman.
Florida.
But I guess,
Yeah.
but I guess this is what they're doing, right? Again, Triple H has just they brought him back. He's made the statement, "I want to be the head of the table." Done. And now we're all sitting here going, "What's he going to do? Where's he going to wrestle?
Yeah.
Where's he going to go?" And that's the whole point, right? Is to get us all on the edge of our seats for a week, and then at some point they will reveal what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But again, they're only going to give us a little bit of information.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
smart
They're,
booking.
they're,
it really is.
they're really letting it go really
But
slowly.
it's happening.
Yeah.
It has to happen now.
But seriously, what a way to start 2024.
Fantastic.
I have to admit,
Love it.
AEW have started 2024 in a pretty good way in terms of in-ring.
New
I wouldn't
Japan?
say out the back. New Japan.
It's great.
Everyone's kicked off.
Mate, it's
there's
going to be a
lot
killer
coming.
year for wrestling again.
Yeah, there's a lot coming. Super excited. We are another week closer to Elimination Chamber in Perth. Cannot wait. It's coming.
Pumped, mate.
But Royal Rumble's first in a couple of weeks, so keen for that too.
Yeah.
We might do a live stream for it.
We might.
Yeah.
Let's see how we go.
We'll figure out how we
See
go. We
how
might
we go.
do
Let us know.
a live stream of a match.
Let us know if you
A
want to see
Rumble.
us do a live
Yeah, a
stream
Rumble
of
match.
Royal Rumble. Give us some comments. Let us know what you think. Thank you.
Might be on the cans. Never know.
I'm sure we'll be on the cans.
We'll be on the
Thank you,
cans.
Mr. Daniel Danielson. Thank you, Ready Reece.
Thank you, Booker
Please
Ted.
make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment on this video. Check us out on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, X. And remember that
Send
I'm
me
Booker
tips
Ted
for-
because I haven't said that I'm Booker Ted. Thank you.
Send me all your tips. Have
you tried honey and lemon?
Yeah, he's done the honey and lemon. Any other home remedies for
Anything
Dan
else?
Danielson to try here in Madison Square Garage around the pool table of relevancy? He will try anything, it's true.
We'll try anything. Really.
Yes, he will. Thank you so much for joining us here down under that podcast. We look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. Thank you so much. Sesame Teddy!